Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. A chance encounter. Jelly Roll and Pope Leo XIV. The morning sun poured across St. Peter's Square like liquid gold, painting the cobblestones in warm light. Jason, better known to millions as Jelly Roll, stood at the base of the Vatican steps with a quiet awe that surprised even him. A year earlier, the idea of standing in Rome, waiting to meet the leader of the Catholic Church, would have felt like a fantasy. Yet here he was on September 12, the very day he would later post a now-famous Instagram photo with Pope Leo XIV, a meeting that would ripple across social media and spark conversations far beyond music or religion. For Jelly Roll, life had always been a patchwork of unlikely chapters. Raised in a tough neighborhood outside Nashville, he had wrestled with addiction, poverty, and the pull of the streets. There were arrests and nights spent on hard jail bunks, long before there were sold-out arenas. His songs, gritty, soulful confessions like "Need a Favor," "Where It Just Hits," they were lifelines he tossed to anyone still lost in the dark. The Pope's journey, though worlds apart, carried its own weight. Born Lorenzo Bellini in a small Italian village, Pope Leo XIV had spent decades as a parish priest before becoming a cardinal. Known for his gentle humor and unshakable belief in human dignity, he often said, "No life is beyond the reach of grace." When he learned about the American musician who used his fame to speak openly about recovery and redemption, he felt a stirring curiosity. "Invite him," he told his aides. "I wish to hear his story." A meeting of contrasts, the two men greeted each other in a quiet courtyard scented with olive trees. Jelly Roll, in a simple black jacket, felt the weight of history all around him. Pope Leo wore his white cassock, but his warm smile dissolved the formality. "Your music travels farther than you know," the Pope said, extending his hand. Jelly Roll chuckled nervously. "Your Holiness, I'm just a guy with a guitar and a lot of baggage." "Baggage," the Pope replied, "is simply the evidence of a journey." Those words landed deep. For years, Jelly Roll had carried shame like a second skin. He sang about it, rapped about it, tried to exorcise it on stage. Yet here was the spiritual leader of over 1 billion people, the past as proof of survival, not failure. They sat beneath a stone archway, the Vatican gardens stretching behind them. Their conversation wandered from music to mercy, from Nashville to ancient cathedrals. Jelly Roll spoke of his fans, men and women who wrote to him about sobriety, about finding hope in his lyrics. Pope Leo shared stories of visiting prisons and refugee camps, of meeting people who thought themselves forgotten. "You give them a song," the Pope said. "I give them a prayer, but it is the same work, reminding them they are loved." Lessons in Rapper found himself opening up more than he expected. He described the night he finally chose sobriety, the countless temptations, sins, and the small victories, like tucking his daughter into bed sober every night. The Pope listened intently. "Redemption is not a finish line," Pope Leo said. "It is a daily beginning. Each morning you wake up and choose it again." Jelly Roll nodded, thinking of the fans who looked to him as proof that change was possible. "Sometimes I worry I'll let them down," he admitted. "Then you will stand again," the Pope replied. "Even saints fall. What matters is the rising." Their talk stretched for hours. They spoke of art as a bridge between souls, of the power of vulnerability, of the strange beauty that can grow from pain. By the time photographers arrived to capture their meeting, the two men were laughing like old friends. The photo, Jelly Roll with his arm slightly around the pontiff, both grinning, would soon circle the globe. The ripple effect when Jelly Roll posted the image to Instagram later that day, the reaction was electric. Fans flooded the comments with awe and gratitude. Some joked about the unlikely duo. Others shared how the meeting inspired them to reconcile with estranged family, to enter rehab, or simply to believe in second chances. Music journalists analyzed the symbolism. a tattooed country rap artist alongside the spiritual leader of the Catholic Church. Faith bloggers wrote essays about bridging cultures, but the truest impact unfolded quietly in living rooms and hospital wards, in late-night text messages between friends. In a women's recovery center in Ohio, a young mother saw the photo and wept. "If he can stand beside the Pope," she told her counselor, "maybe I can stand beside my kids again." In a small Italian village, a teenage guitarist felt a surge of courage to chase his dream despite family doubts. Across continents, people who had never heard a single Jelly Roll song suddenly downloaded his music, drawn by the story of a man who turned struggle into testimony. Beyond borders, a week later, Jelly Roll reflected on the encounter during a concert in Chicago. "I thought I was going to the Vatican to meet a holy man," he told the cheering crowd. "Turns out I met a fellow traveler. We talked about pain, hope, music, same stuff we talk about every night in these songs." He paused, scanning the thousands of faces lit by stage lights. "Here's what I learned. No matter where you come from, no matter how far you've fallen, you are never disqualified from love. Not from God, not from each other." The arena erupted. Some raised their phones, others raised their hands. For many, it felt like more than a concert. It felt like a benediction. Lasting inspiration months after that September day, both men continued their respective missions. Pope Leo launched an initiative supporting addiction recovery programs worldwide, crediting a conversation with a musician friend for the idea. Jelly Roll expanded his foundation for at-risk youth, using part of the proceeds from his tour to fund music therapy and mental health counseling. Their friendship endured through letters and occasional video calls. Different stages, Jelly Roll joked in one message, same goal, lifting people up. The Pope, in turn, sent handwritten blessings for Jelly Roll's family and fans. For the world, their meeting became a living parable that the sacred and the secular are not enemies, but companions, that redemption is a shared human melody, whether sung in a cathedral or a concert hall.